We are outside M&T Bank Arena as the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team hosted the Maine Black Bears in a weekend series, which we will recap coming up on Sports Paws.
Another team that plays at M&T Bank Arena, the women's ice hockey team, took on the number 12 team in the country, the Northeastern Huskies, in a two-game series of their own.
Speaking of Northeastern, the Quinnipiac field hockey team hosted the Huskies this past weekend, but first they had to go through a Big East matchup in the Villanova Wildcats.
All that and more coming up on Sports Paws starting right now.
Welcome into Studio 125 for another episode of Sports Paws. I'm Anthony Rossi.
And I'm Anthony Davila. We have a lot to cover this week, so let's jump right into it.
A former national champion has been called up to the National Hockey League. Former captain Zach Metza has received the news that he will be heading to Buffalo to join the Sabres. This comes just weeks after he was named captain of the Rochester Americans in the AHL. During the last two seasons, Metza recorded 72 points with the Americans. Metza also made his NHL debut tonight with the Sabres. Another Bobcat who makes their debut tonight is Charles Alexis Legault, who will play for the Carolina Hurricanes at 10 p.m.
The Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team faced off against number 7 in the nation, Maine Black Bears, in their home opening series. The Bobcats are looking to secure their first series opening win against the Black Bears since 2018. Just over 2 minutes into the first period, a Tyler Borgula turnover is picked up by William Giroir, who takes the puck in all alone and puts it past Matej Marinov, giving the Black Bears an early 1-0 lead.
Big goal from the Black Bears to start it off late in the period. Now Maine up by 2, and they are looking for more. Justin Poirier is stopped by Matej Marinov, but the rebound goes to Miguel Marquez, and the Black Bears, they're up by 3 heading into the first intermission.
Now less than 30 seconds into the second, Bobcats on the power play. Antonin Verreau gets the puck to Ethan Winbach in front of the net. He puts it past Albin Boya, and the Bobcats get on the board.
We now go to just halfway through the period. Good pressure from Andon Serbone after Maine scores just a little bit ago. Marcus Vidicek, though, comes right back. The lead is only back to 2 for Maine.
In the third, Marinov to the bench for the extra attacker. Charlie Letty's shot off the end boards around the Gronwald, who snipes it past Boya, and the Bobcats trail by 1 with under 3 minutes left.
Marinov still on the bench. Will Gilson to Jeremy Wilmer, and the bank erupts as he scores. We are heading to overtime.
In overtime, both teams struggle to find momentum, but with under 10 seconds to play, Verreau breaks out for the chance, but it's denied by Boya. The game is going to officially end in a tie, but they're going to head to a shootout anyway.
Save from the Maine goaltender. Ethan Wittenbach slowly comes in on the shootout like Patrick Kane, and he scores past Albin Boya. 1-0 Bobcats in the shootout.
Now a save from Marinov will secure the shootout win for Quinnipiac. Josh Nadeau skates it in, but Marinov stands tall. Quinnipiac takes the shootout 1-0.
The goalies stood out in this game. Albin Boya, 35 saves in the tie. Ethan Wittenbach would also score the shootout winning goal.
And after the tie on Friday, the Bobcats looked to salvage a win against a tough top 10 opponent, and the Bobcats did just that, shutting out the Black Bears 4-0. Will Gilson got the scoring started in the first period, earning his first goal of the season. Mason Marcellus would follow that up later, propelling the Bobcats to a 2-0 lead. Then in the third, Jeremy Wilmer and Ethan Winbach both had power play goals. Matej Marinov recorded 23 saves in the shutout win, and the Bobcats will have a quick turnaround as they travel up the Mass Pike to take on Holy Cross on a Tuesday night in Worcester.
The number 1 and number 3 ranked teams clash this weekend in Boston. Let's see if there's any shakeups in the recent USCHO poll. There's a new sheriff in town at number 1, and it's the Michigan State Spartans, who swept Boston University at Agganis Arena. BU falls to 4, and other Hockey East foe Maine drops to the number 10 spot. Other notable movers are Quinnipiac, jumping from number 10 to number 6, and Michigan moved up 3 spots, to number 3, while receiving the second most first place votes in the polls.
After a strong weekend series against the Black Bears, one Bobcat was named the ECAC Hockey Weekly Awards. Matej Marinov was named as the conference goalie of the week as he started both games for the team. In Game 1, he had 18 saves and played a key factor in the game ending in a tie, and eventually winning it in the shootout. The junior would follow that performance up by shutting out the number 7 team in the nation in the second game, stopping all 23 shots he faced.
Switching over to the women's team, 2 Bobcats earned ECAC Hockey Weekly Awards last week. Senior defender Zoe Ewens was named as the Defender of the Week, and Felicia Frank earned Goalie of the Week honors for the 3rd time in a row. Ewens notched a point in both games last weekend while also blocking 3 shots in Game 1 against Syracuse. Speaking of Game 1, Felicia Frank was credited with the shutout, and she stopped 47 of 48 shots during the team's weekend 8 days ago. Transitioning to this weekend, the Bobcats took on the number 12 team in the country, the Northeastern Huskies, in a 2-game series in Hamden. The Bobcats and Huskies, the last time they matched up, it was in Boston. They split the weekend. Both teams are undefeated in this one. Laurence Fournette starts it off in the first period, sending a pass to Emerson Jarvis, and she puts the biscuit in the basket. Bobcats are up first for the 5th time this season.
Heading to the next period, Kayla LaMarche rushes in the puck into the offensive zone and rips a shot blocker side on Lisa Yusin. LaMarche knows it immediately. On the goal, she extends her point streak to 6 games.
Big game from LaMarche upcoming later on. She picks up the puck from the neutral zone, dekes around a defender. She's all alone on the far side, rips it blocker side on Yunson again. It's 3-0 Bobcats over the number 12 Huskies.
Don't count these Huskies out, though. They scored late into the second and into the third. They were on the power play. Jules Constantinople off the faceoff, and she scores from the point. Northeastern cuts the deficit to just 1 goal.
Bobcats, they're trying to battle back, but they continue to play emotional and take penalties. Northeastern capitalizes. Jules Constantinople back-to-back. This game is tied at 3s.
But the Bobcats will battle back. Or should I say, Kaylin LaMarche battled back. Tessa Holt comes up the near side and blows by 2 defenders. She sends a pass over to LaMarche, and the junior scores her 3rd of the game. A hat trick for LaMarche, and the Bobcats will retake the lead.
Bobcats have a 5-on-3 late. LaMarche, far side. You know where she's going. Blocker side over Yunson. 4 goals for LaMarche. Bobcats are able to score back-to-back and extend their lead to 2 goals.
And that would be the Daggers. The Bobcats would take this one 5-3 over the Huskies. LaMarche tallies a point on every Bobcat goal and records a new career high in single game points.
On to game 2. We go into the second period. It's the Huskies getting things started. This time around, a pass is sent to Eloise Caron, who bashes the rebound home in front. Huskies lead early on in the middle frame.
Later on, the Bobcats will respond, and you never guess who it was that scored. Kaylin LaMarche picking up a tip in front of the Ansley DeTovio shot. Ties the game with 13 minutes left in the second.
Set face-off play for Northeastern, and Ali Lalonde taps the puck home. Northeastern retakes the lead.
Thought that face-off play was good. Try this one. Tessa Holt wins it back to LaMarche, who takes a quick snapshot, firing it by Rena Trimbecki to tie the game up once again.
Later on, Trimbecki's going to have her revenge. 2-on-1 breakout for the Bobcats. Berglund with a shot. What a save from the first year, robbing Emerson Jarvis.
Laurence Fournette sauces this puck up on a platter for LaMarche. The junior goes to her backhand and scores another hat trick. 7 straight goals for LaMarche on the weekend, and she scores the most goals by a women's or men's player in a single weekend in the last 7 years.
Crazy stat from her. Emerson Jarvis will tack on another empty netter, and the Bobcats win 4-2 over the Huskies, sweeping the weekend. Laurence Fournette, 2 assists and 9 shots in game 2.
This week's latest USCHO polls dropped, and there was no movement in the top 7. Wisconsin stays at the top, undefeated, and they have stayed there since September 16th, 2024. UConn jumps from 11 to 8 as they sweep the formerly ranked Princeton Tigers. Speaking of jumping, St. Thomas gets ranked for the first time in program Division I history, tying for the 13th spot. The team that they are tied with, the Yale Bulldogs. Quinnipiac's next opponent as both teams enter conference play this weekend.
Whew. After a wild weekend for both the men's and women's teams, I think we're going to need a full breakdown of what to expect in the coming weeks.
Luckily, we have 3 ice hockey analysts representing student media organizations to break it all down on the first ever edition of the Roundtable.
Welcome to the first ever installment of the Roundtable featuring Q30 Television, QBSN, and The Chronicle. I'm Ava Heaton, here with QBSN's Emma Morris and The Chronicle's Claire Franklin, and today's topic of discussion is Quinnipiac men's and women's ice hockey as both teams had home series this past weekend. Jumping straight into it, after starting in both games this weekend for men's ice hockey and earning 37 saves, has Matej Marinov proven himself to have sole possession of the net going forward?
In my opinion, yes, he does. He is in the back of the net when the team and Coach Pecknold needs him the most. He fought hard in Friday's game against Maine. He climbed himself back from a very much 1v1 situation with a lot of the goals. He didn't let a goal pass the second period. And then he went on Saturday night and recorded a shutout.
Yeah, Eva, I'm gonna have to agree with Emma here. I think especially this weekend against Maine, he really proved himself. So far this season, he has 2 wins and a tie, with 1 win this weekend against Maine in Saturday's 4-0 shutout, and with the tie on Friday's matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you. I think he absolutely has earned sole possession of this net, but mixed with how they both ended last season, obviously, Silverstein did come in and end up playing in Allentown last year in the regional, but they lost that game. And Marinov really, I think, proved himself in the ECAC quarterfinals against Brown. So I really do think this is Marinov's net to lose at this point. And I truthfully think he has proved himself to have the net at his disposal going forward.
Heading over to the women's side, Kayla LaMarche scored 7 goals this weekend, becoming the player in both men's and women's with the most goals scored in 7 years in a weekend series. What should fans expect from her heading into the rest of the season?
You know, LaMarche is a really strong asset for the women's team. This season, she's really helped them get such a strong start to their season. Right now, her shooting ability is incredible for them. She has 47 shots so far on the season, and she really has a great way of seeing the ice. She's recorded 12 goals so far, but along with those goals, she also has 7 assists, which really goes to show how she's really able to read the play. She's able to read the ice and be able to make those plays for the Bobcats and generate those plays while also being able to finish them strong and really help them get the upper hand on their opponents.
I think you said it perfectly, Claire. I think LaMarche is the player to watch on Quinnipiac women's ice hockey, and maybe in women's ice hockey overall right now. She is just dominant on all facets of the game right now. She has proven herself time and time again, and what to expect from her? More goals.
I think you guys have summed it up perfectly. For me, I think it's yet again pretty clear. Dominant goal scoring. She's going to be the one who goes out onto the ice when Coach Turner is like, hey, I need somebody to score a goal. She's going to go out there and do it.
Well, thank you guys for joining us on the debut of the Roundtable. Be sure to follow all of our organizations on social media and check out all of the websites.
But don't go anywhere. Coming up on Sports Paws, the guys on the desk will be talking about field hockey's 2 big matchups against Villanova and Northeastern.
They will also recap the women's soccer team's Big Mac weekend against Sacred Heart, looking to stay undefeated in conference play. Don't go anywhere, because Sports Paws will be right back after the break.
Guys! We had to make a commercial for #that right now. What do we do?
How long do we have? We only had 2 months to do this.
We could explain that it's a pop culture news show that covers everything from movies, music, and video games.
Yeah, and we can also talk about how there's pre-recorded segments that vary from reviews to in-depth discussions.
We should also mention that it broadcasts live every Monday at 7 p.m. on q30tv.com/watch.
I think that covers everything. Did you guys get that down?
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Come on. Yeah.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Thanks for sticking with us. Field hockey looks to carry their strong play on the turf into another Big East matchup against the Villanova Wildcats. The last time the Bobcats have beat the Wildcats was back in 2021 in overtime. And the Bobcats, into this game, they're riding a 3-game winning streak. We go under a minute left in the first quarter. Penalty corner for Quinnipiac, and it's stuffed by Wildcats goaltender Sophie Vogel. It's Nova's turn on the penalty corner, but the Bobcats defense stands strong. That's why they were #1 in the country in that category. Into the third quarter, Bobcats have a chance. Francisca Escoyas rips a shot on goal. Chaos ensues in front, and Cameron Brower will finally put home the rebound. It's 1-0 Quinnipiac. Later on, Escoyas with the ball again, breaks in and sends a rocket on goal. That one goes in. Back-to-back goals for the Bobcats as they head into the fourth, up 2-0. Penalty corners galore for the Wildcats, 3 to be exact. Here's the first one. Jane Brashanen takes the shot. It's blocked by Eula Hufa, and the rebound is patted away by Christina Torres. More chances for Nova. Penalty corner again. Gemma Lazat with a chance. Bobcats hold strong on defense once more. Third tries a charm maybe for Villanova. Not a chance when you're talking about the Bobcats. Katie Shanahan, beautiful rotation, stopping that one. Bobcats play keep away for the final 9 minutes, and they extend their winning streak to 4 straight. It's their longest since 2013. And for more on the historic winning streak, field hockey beat reporter Spencer Decker has the story.
4 wins in a row, a streak that has not been accomplished since the Bobcats' historic 2013 season. And head coach Nina Klein cannot be more proud of how her team has performed down the stretch.
These are the moments I live for as a head coach, and I know they do too. And to really just trust our vision has been huge. In year 1, we played Nova at home. We were winning by 3 goals, and we wound up losing 4-3 in year 1. And now it's full circle. We bring them back to Hamden and get the job done and play some of the best hockey that I've ever seen us play. So just really, really excited. But I don't want to hold on to it for too long, because I want to get the job done on Sunday for our seniors. But really, really proud and grateful right now.
Francisca Escoyas, who scored her 10th goal of the season, could not be happier to do it with the group of girls surrounding her.
It's just keeping positive energy and positive talk on the field and also outside the field. And it's just getting into the field and having fun. It's not talking bad to each other. It's just like playing and trusting all your teammates.
Christina Torres posted back-to-back shutouts, but it can't be done without the rest of her teammates on the field.
I think we just love this team. We're a great team. We're way better than we've been before, and it's just showing off on our field hockey, and our record, I guess, is also proving how good we are this year. And we just hope to keep doing it, and as long as we can, we'll keep playing.
With 4 games ahead, including 2 very important Big East games, head coach Nina Klein knows how important this stretch of the season can be for her team.
Yeah, I mean, even some big non-conference like Lafayette was a huge, propelling win for us. But yeah, I'm honestly just speechless right now and trying to take in the moment. When I came over to the bench and I just looked up at the fans, we had a good turnout today and just really enjoying each moment bit by bit. But again, like I said, not holding on to it for too long, because we have some work to get done for the rest of the season. But very grateful, very proud of the group. Very grateful for my staff, and just excited to get to work tomorrow, and then Sunday hopefully bring home a win for our seniors.
Now the Bobcats are back in action at home when they play Northeastern on Senior Day as they look for their 5th straight win. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Spencer Decker.
Thanks, Spencer. Let's see if the win streak will hold up as the Northeastern Huskies mush into town. Coming off of a Big East matchup against Villanova Wildcats, that winning streak Spencer just talked about on a sunny Sunday. The game was Senior Day, and the seniors and their families were honored. We're heading straight into the first quarter as Jess Garn inserts to Camila Armageni. She fires that one, and it gets past Christina Torres, and it's going to be 1-0 Huskies. Still in the first, Cameron Brower on the corner inserts it to Francisca Escoyas. Escoyas fires it and then puts it. Browner, who tips it in. Second quarter now, Camila Armageni capitalizes on another penalty stroke to score her 2nd goal of the game. To the 4th quarter, Lucy Walton quick passes it to Alex Mega for the poke-in shot to send the Huskies lead to 2. It is now going to be 3-1 Northeastern. Cameron Brower with the ball by herself. She runs into the circle and fires a backhand goal past Ivy Wallen to cut the Northeastern lead to 1. Penalty corner. A penalty corner here. Brower to Lucina Donati to Escoyas, back to Donati. Donati shot is deflected in the air, and Cameron Brower tips it in, but the referee calls no goal. The Bobcats try and plead their case. It's still going to be 3-2 Northeastern. A redo opportunity for the Bobcats as Brower inserts it to Donati. Donati to Micah Van Winson. Winson to Escoyas, and it's blocked and taken out by the Husky defender. This game's going to end 3-2 with Brower. A great effort as she tailed 2 goals on the loss. The Bobcats will play Georgetown this Friday in a Big East matchup.
Even after that tough loss to Northeastern, the Bobcats saw some movement in the most recent Big East standings. Quinnipiac sits in a tie for 4th place with the team they just beat, Villanova, as well as the Temple Owls, who the Bobcats lost to 3-0 earlier this season. On top of the conference are the Liberty Flames, followed by the Old Dominion Monarchs and UConn in a tie for 2nd. Each team in the Big East only has 2 more conference games remaining, making each game more meaningful as they get down the stretch.
After extending their Big East win streak to 2 games on Friday, one Bobcat took home some hardware. Cameron Bauer was named the Big East Offensive Player of the Week. The senior tallied 3 goals on the weekend, including her first goal of the season on Friday, helping propel her team to a big conference win over Villanova. She also scored the only 2 goals the Bobcats had in their 3-2 loss to Northeastern. The women's soccer team traveled to Sacred Heart, trying to stay undefeated in MAC play against the Pioneers. Huge MAC women's soccer matchup. Quinnipiac at Sacred Heart with a chance for the Bobcats to stay undefeated in MAC play. Two of the top three teams facing off. Straight into the second half, following a takedown by Madison Owls, the Pioneers with a free kick. Lindy McShay lobs it in. The ball pings off the post where Morgan Bavardi gets the rebound goal, and it's going to be 1-0 Sacred Heart. In the 73rd minute, Morgan Cupo finds a loose ball, airs out the shot that curls into the top right corner, and the game is going to be tied at 1. Cupo's not done though, because in the 89th minute, off of a free kick, the ball is passed around in the box, but Cupo is there to put it in. Let's take another look at that. Owls get stuffed by the goalie, but Cupo is waiting with an open net. The Bobcats head back up the Merritt Parkway with a 2-1 win. Isabella Torelli had an assist, and Olivia Jarvis had 4 saves in net. Quinnipiac will hit the road again to take on Iona on Saturday. As you see there, Torelli had 1 assist. Bavardi had 1 goal and 3 shots.
After a big weekend in the MAC, let's check out where the teams sit with 2 conference games remaining in the season. Fairfield moves all the way up to the top of the conference from the number 3 spot. After 2 losses, Sacred Heart drops from number 1 to number 3 in the standings. The top 6 teams will make the MAC playoffs, and only Ryder and the Mountain have been eliminated from playoff contention. Something to keep an eye on is who will get the top 4 seeds, as they will host at least 1 playoff game when the time comes. Taking it to the rugby field, Quinnipiac took on Sacred Heart in the team's senior day. The Pioneers spoiled the Bobcats' moment though, taking them down 27-12 on her senior day. Lucy Lamborn reached the try zone once, and for the 3rd straight week in a row, Rebecca Balladares, had a try of her own. Sacred Heart had 5 tries in the win, 2 coming from Reese Tordesil, and with the loss, Quinnipiac is now eliminated from NIRA playoff contention. You know, checking my iPad, it's not time for bedtime yet, so I think we have time for 1 more commercial break, but when we return, we will recap the men's soccer team's 2 MAC matchups against Manhattan at home on Wednesday and a trip up to the Mount. Down to the Mount, on Saturday.
Plus, we will also be taking a look at the top 5 plays from this week in Quinnipiac Athletics. And Rossi, I got a feeling we're going to be seeing some hockey plays, so make sure to stay tuned as Sports Paws will be right back.
Nobody is more prepared for an emergency than Dogman.
With all your kung fu skills and your canine fortitude or whatnot.
But for the rest of us, a good plan goes a long way.
Come on, let's go!
So, whether it's an unexpected disaster or the world's most evilest cat bent on destroying all do-gooders,
Destroy all do-gooders!
you can help your family be ready for anything.
No time to waste. Will you get out of here?
Get started today at ready.gov/kids.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and to support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Gracie and Pedro might not get along so well.
You're standing on my tail.
But there's one thing they agree on. There's a right seat for everyone.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Whether you're a dog,
Hold on, Pooch.
a cat, a fish, or a rat.
And I'm a ferret.
Be sure to travel safe.
How can you be so sure? I'm absolutely positive.
On your next adventure, make sure your children are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Back to Sports Paws. The men's soccer team would look to snap their losing streak of 3 games with the matchup against the Manhattan Jaspers, where they would be successful in doing so with a 2-1 final score. The Bobcats' goals came from Sivert Ristalsnes and Sindri Sigurd-Johnson. Matthew Piscini got the start in goal and only allowing 1 goal on 5 shots.
It's a big win for the Bobcats, but after that home win, they traveled down to Maryland to take on the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers. Only 1 goal was scored during the contest, and the Mountaineers defeated the Bobcats, defending home field. The Mount's goalie, Julian Marcos, stopped all 7 Bobcat shots he faced in the win. Quinnipiac will now travel back to Hamden as they get ready for this weekend's matchup against Siena on Saturday. Now, moving from the fields to the hardwood, the Quinnipiac volleyball team traveled to upstate New York to take on Siena in Loudonville. The Bobcats beat the Saints in 4 sets, winning their 3rd straight MAC game after losing to Niagara on home court. In the 3rd set, the teams totaled 68 points with a final set score of 35-33 in favor of Siena. Yamar Ganesh lead the match in kills with 25, and her twin sister Damla Ganesh recorded 48 assists.
They look to continue from the dominating win against the Saints with a matchup against the Marist Red Foxes. They would go on to win the matchup 3-0. Elena Giacomini led the way with 9 kills and helped bump their win streak up to 4 games. Now they will look to continue their win streak with upcoming matchup against #1 Fairfield and the Sacred Heart Pioneers.
From the courts to the links, the Quinnipiac golf team traveled down to Delaware for the Lady Blue Hen Invitational. In a really tough field, the Bobcats placed 7th among Ivy League foes Yale, Harvard, and Dartmouth. Samantha Galantini led the Bobcats through all 3 days, finishing off in a tie for 5th place in the individual leaderboard, shooting a .219, which is 3 over par. Second highest finisher, Tekla Fine-Lice, carded a .224, 8 over par at Rehoboth Beach Country Club.
Both cross-country teams were in action this past weekend, and here to give us the scoop is Sports Paws cross-country correspondent Andrew Goodness.
Thanks, guys. There was action over the weekend for both the men's and women's cross-country teams. The men headed to the Bronx, New York for the IC4A Championships. The Bobcats competed against a field of 22 teams. They would come in 21st out of those teams, with Shepard Livingston recording the fastest time for the team at 26:23.7. That time would put him at the 120th fastest finish in the 8K race, with teammates Michael Goodson and Michael Durunda finishing behind Livingston at 148th and 176th, respectively. 3 more Bobcats would record times at the race, but the team fell behind most of the field. They will continue their season on November 1st in the MAC Championships. Shifting lanes, the women's team headed out west to Columbia, Missouri for the pre-national invitational meet. Facing competition from across the country, the Bobcats placed 28th out of 38 teams at the meet. Rachel St. Germain finished 57th at the meet with a time of 20:39 to lead the Bobcat squad. Maddie O'Neill and Zoe Merriman rounded out Quinnipiac's top 3, placing 164th and 167th respectively. After outrunning national opponents like Kansas and Purdue in the pre-nationals, the team will head back to Connecticut for the CCSU mini-meets in New Britain on Friday, October 24th. That's all I have from out here on the Canal Trail. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. You know, speaking of, didn't he go on desk with the other Andrew 2 weeks ago? And they got Show of the Week?
I think they did. They were a pretty good duo, but we Anthonys, we can do it better, and you know what better way to close out the show than the top 5 plays of the week. Play 5 on the soccer pitch, Morgan Kupo sends the ball in from Narnia and scores. That would be the tie, but the Bobcats will win 2-1.
Kaylin Ramarsh receives the pass, laying the puck in the top right corner for the go-ahead goal. Bobcats are going to win 5-3.
Staying with hockey, but switching to the men's team, Matej Marinov shuts the door not once but twice. Desperation attempt, and he's able to make the stop on the number 7 team in the country.
Same team, next day. Mason Marcellus brings this one around town. Bobcats are going to win this game 4-0.
Mason Magic making his debut at M&T Bank Arena. But how about play 1? Will Gilson to Jeremy Wilmer tied the game up. The game will go to overtime. Bobcats will win in a shootout. But what a sweet feed from Will Gilson over to Jeremy Wilmer.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Sports Paws. Make sure to follow us at Q30 Television and Q30 Sports on X and Instagram to keep up to date with your favorite Quinnipiac athletic teams. Also, make sure to check out our website at q30tv.com and stay posted on all the latest our station has in store.
From the producers and everyone working hard behind the scenes, he's Anthony Davila and I'm Anthony Rossi, saying so long and have a great rest of your week, Bobcats.